This radio here is one of the rarest radios in the Emerson 888 series. It's the Emerson 888 Transtimer II. As you can see, it's a clock radio. That's the timer portion of the name. And there was actually a Transtimer I, which seems to have been produced in even more limited numbers than this Transtimer II. As you can tell from the dust, both inside and outside, the set has been sitting quite a while. When I realized I've never done a video on this radio, I decided that I have to do one, because this is, a fairly interesting and rare set. Just wiped the worst of that dust off. You can see the clock in this one is currently running, which is unusual. These battery-powered mechanisms usually do, gum up over time and stop working. Right before I started the video, it stopped working, and I tapped on it and it started running again. I definitely wouldn't say it's running reliably, but it is currently running, and you can, see how it ticks and all that. Now to turn the set on, you just turn this knob here to on. Had the volume a little high there.
Of hosts and despise the word of the Holy One of Israel. Therefore is the anger of the Lord.
Cotton, like you weren't using.
Repaired the main, but are still trying to fix the street that buckled.
The best. Bronze Memorial. And is your home for the New York Yankees. Catch every game right here. And for the Yankee schedule, check out us969.com.
You can set this thing up such that it'll wake you up with your favorite radio station, or you can wake up to a buzzer sound, which is activated by turning the volume control to what would otherwise be the off position. If you set this knob here to auto, you can either use the sleep function, which you activate by turning this knob here. Oops, I turned it the wrong way. The knob is kind of loose on the shaft. You can let that run for up to 60 minutes, or you can set the alarm with the dial on the back, and have it trip that way. The case is made of genuine leather, or at least the outside is. You can see it's stamped Emerson Radio and Television there, and 888 there. The front just says Emerson. Parts of this are vinyl. Like this right here is just vinyl. You can see it's cracking. This example is in much better condition than most of these. It took me quite a while to find one of these that's in excellent condition. Usually the leather is falling apart. I believe I did use leather conditioner on this set, and if not, I probably will before I pack this one away. It looks like I might not have actually, so I should probably take care of that. Unless this one fall to the same fate. This is an earphone jack on the bottom here. It's the same spot it would normally be on the 888 chassis, although it's kind of inconvenient in this model. The back is marked genuine top grain cowhide and Transtimer II. Now on the Transtimer I, instead of having snaps on the back like it does on the front, it had screws holding these straps down, which is annoying because you have to open this thing every time you want to change the alarm setting, which you change with this knob here, which also sets the time, depending on whether you've got it pulled out or in. This is the speed adjustment. It takes 4 C cells to run the radio and 1 D cell to run the clock, and the instructions are down here. You can see the chassis is, for the most part, a typical Emerson 888 chassis. One big difference, besides some slight wiring changes to make that alarm tone, is that the antenna has been relocated to where the battery holder normally is. because otherwise it would be, you know, over here and sideways and probably wouldn't get very good reception. Ham radio is pretty directional after all. Other than that, though, it's a standard 888 chassis, although they did use the early version chassis for these sets, which had the output transformer, because the clock here only has a single pole switch, and the later chassis, you know, needs a double pole switch to turn it on and off. It's got a nice carry handle, and on this one it's unbroken, although you can see when I lift on it there's a crack starting to form, so it probably shouldn't be used. And the brass works all nice on this as well. I believe there were a few other differences with the Transtimer I. It had a different volume control knob, which didn't match as well with the, you know, golden rings here around the clock, speaker, and tuning dial. It had like a white plastic knob there. It also took 4 D cells for the, you know, radio instead of the C cells, and maybe a few other things. I don't think this set was sold in particularly large numbers. The same goes for pretty much any transistor clock radio, although it seems just about every major transistor radio maker made at least one transistor clock radio, and very few of them did well. I guess they were just too expensive and people didn't really need them. That Westinghouse clock radio I did an unboxing on seems to be easily the most common. Well, thanks for watching.